I've done this at 25 sites, so I would have done this 250 times across the UK. So sweets help. You have a bag of sweets. You have somebody with you. You talk about anything just to pass the time. I'm Ed. I work at the University of Nottingham in the biology department on heather. So what I do is I need to go around the country, collect soils and grow heather in them. So today what we're going to be doing is going to one site and having a look and seeing what we can find. Heather is a small, slow-growing bush. It can grow to about that height. It takes years to grow. It grows very slowly, and it's beautifully purple during the summer. It blooms virtually all at once. It's beautiful British weather. Typically it's raining, it's grey, it's cold, it's beautiful weather. Well, I've been right up to Inverness, so that's about 9.5 hours drive from Nottingham, about a 1,000-mile trip I guess, down to the southwest, the Lizard, Land's End, across to Lundy Island, Norfolk, Lincolnshire, Leicestershire, Nottinghamshire, virtually all around the country. We haven't done Wales because it rains too much there, which is quite funny seeing as it's raining already today. It gets you out of the lab, gets you out of the office. Even on days like this, you just laugh off the weather and get on with the job. You get to see beautiful places, travel around, you get to know your colleagues as well. When you're sat in your car for 9.5 hours, you get to know them really well. I really enjoy it. This is Sherwood Forest, so it's Robin Hood country. This is where Robin Hood came from. And this is Budby Heath. It's a Ministry of Defence training area, so not many people walk on it, which is great for Heathland. We need permission from the local Ministry of Defence to come on here because they do shooting. We found some empty shells and stuff, and they also run around in big lines carrying around trees. I don't know why they do that. Doesn't look like much fun. Must be a reason. We went up to Scotland to a Ministry of Defence site where they bomb it with fighter jets or bombers or whatever they're called. So you watch them come across and they drop bombs onto the site. Beautiful heathland, it's pristine because nobody ever goes on it because it's dangerous. So we had to drive out in this Jeep with this guy in there saying exiting vehicle and walking to this part, all that sort of stuff. And eventually we had to say to them what we were going to do, and we said, well, we're going to dig up a bit of soil. What with? Well, a trowel, firstly. They said, no. If you did that, then you'll end up blowing yourself up in the face because you'll hit a bomb, an unexploded bomb that's in the heathland, and it'll explode. Well, this is one of the sites that we use to collect soil, so I'm going to show you how it's done. Obviously, with soil, when it gets wet, it gets difficult. So it's not going to be the easiest one I've done. We use a sieve and sieve it in the field because some of the sites are protected. So in terms of their SSSIs, which means they're sites of special scientific interest. So if we go in and say, well, we're going to take away parts of your heathland, they're not going to be particularly happy about it. So what we make sure we do is we sieve the soil that we need in the field, just to get out roots and leaves and all that sort of stuff. And then put anything we've got left back in and then cover it up. We've got to collect it from beneath heather bushes, just to keep it the same across all sites.
And that's a heather bush, is it?
That's a heather bush, a nice big heather bush. So you just got to get on your hands and knees, part it, and get the job done. It's such a big bush and we cut just to the side of the main root. So we might cut a couple of roots, but as long as we don't cut through the main stem, then all should be well. So now I've cut around the square that I need about a 10 by 10 centimetre square. It's a nice little small one there. And that's soil. That's stuff that we need. We have to get them here because they've got all sorts of things in the soil that you can't see. So heather grows well with fungus. It's called ericaceous mycorrhizal fungus. So it grows on the roots, and it's kind of a a partnership between the fungus and the plant, and it helps the plant to absorb different things. So if we try to do different things with fake soils, we wouldn't get that same interaction and the heather wouldn't grow naturally. So the only way to get natural heather growth is to do it naturally with natural soil. One thing that I've learned very quickly about science is that the simplest equipment is the best. So it's just a bottom of a plant pot with a 3x3mm sieve with a little bit of silicone around the edge to make sure I don't cut my hands off. Stick it on the top, put your soil on and sieve it. I've done this at 25 sites, so I would have done this 250 times across the UK. So sweets help. You have a bag of sweets. You have somebody with you. You talk about anything just to pass the time while you're sat there sieving soil after soil. This is nice, easy soil. It is a bit wet because it's raining, but it falls through the sieve nicely. One of the sites I went to in the southwest, it was torrential rain and we got soaked. The soil got saturated so you could squeeze it and it would go and all this water would fly out and it turned into clay. And I would be sat here doing this, scraping it off the bottom, doing it again, and it took about 20 minutes per sample. Once I've done this, I'm going to take them into a nice dry lab and I'm going to put them into a pot and grow heather in them, in the different soils in the growth room. Once you've got this, you get a nice little sample of really good quality peatland peat soil. Take that back to the lab and that's job done for one site.